noticed a rummy thing about life, Jeeves?
No, sir.
Just when you're feeling at your most braced about things in general, something always comes along and gives it you in the neck.
Very true, sir.
Still, there you are, I suppose. Well, dash it, Jeeves, I know you're disappointed.
No, no, sir.
I wanted to go to Capton Teague, too. Hardly the same thing, is it? Westcombe-on-Sea.
I'm sure it will be most agreeable, sir.
Mind the doors, please.
I mean, what can Aunt Agatha want, Jeeves?
I could not say, sir.
Not like her to lash out on a telegram to me.
Indeed not, sir.
The last time she sent a telegram, it was to a dog.
A dog, sir?
Yes, I was looking after Macintosh for her, and the poor chap had gone off his feed. She sent a telegram from the south of France saying, eat up your nice food and Mummy will be back on Tuesday.
Did the animal's appetite improve, sir?
Not noticeably. We left the telegram there.
Afternoon, sir. Welcome to Westcombe.
Ah, Bertie, at last. You look very unhealthy.
Hello, Aunt Agatha.
Westcombe will be good for you. So much better than spending your time in stuffy London nightclubs.
Yes, but...
Come along, Bertie. Now, Bertie, I have met just the girl I should like to see you marry.
But I don't want to get married.
Her name is Aileen Hemingway, a nice, quiet girl. Oh, so different to those bold girls one meets in London nowadays.
But I like bold girls.
Stop interrupting, Bertie. Her brother is curate at Chipley in the Glen in Dorset. We've become great friends.
But I'm young.
And he tells me that they're connected to the Kent Hemingways.
I want to enjoy life.
You should be breeding children, Bertie.
I say, dash it, Aunt Agatha.
Oh, be quiet, Bertie. Ah, here they are. Aileen, dear, Sydney, I want you to meet my nephew, Bertie Wooster. Such a surprise. I had no idea he intended coming to Westcombe.
How do you do, Mr. Wooster?
How do you do?
Welcome to Westcombe-on-Sea, Mr. Wooster. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, thank you, yes.
Sydney, doesn't Mr. Wooster remind you of Canon Blenkinsop, who came to Chipley to preach last Easter?
Yes. Yes, the resemblance is most striking.
The Hemingways have kindly offered to show you Westcombe, Bertie.
First laid out in their present form in 1907, provide a haven of peace and tranquility for the weary traveller. Here the spirit may be refreshed by a verdant grot and an abundance of poor.
I may well be for it this time, Jeeves.
I trust not, sir.
I mean, I don't pretend to be Sherlock Holmes or anything, but I took one look at this Aileen Hemingway and I said to myself, Bertie, that girl plays the organ in the village church.
An ear for music is often a blessing in whiling away the long winter evenings around the family hearth, sir.
There isn't going to be any whiling, Jeeves. Not with me and Miss Hemingway, there isn't.
Very good, sir.
Have you ever seen a floral clock, Jeeves?
I've not had that pleasure, sir.
No, well, don't. Have nothing whatever to do with floral clocks. If a friend says just one more floral clock can't do you any harm, be firm.
I shall do as you recommend, sir. I wonder if I might crave a boon, sir.
Crave away, Jeeves.
A family matter requires my presence in the metropolis tomorrow.
Jeeves, You're not going to leave me alone with the Hemingways.
I shall be back by tea time, sir. A niece of mine has contracted an unfortunate alliance, and the mother has asked that I might reason with the child.
Oh, very well, Jeeves.
Thank you, sir. Will that be all, sir?
Yes, that's all.
Sydney, have you got the guidance?
Why, Aileen, there's Mr. Wooster.
What ho, Reverend? What ho, Miss Hemingway? Mustn't keep you.
Bertie,
What ho, Aunt Agatha?
have you seen the Hemingways this morning?
Well, no, I was going to talk to you about that.
They have arranged a little excursion for you to the museum in Ilmouth.
Look, I don't want to go to any blasted museum. Bertie!
Kindly restrain your language, Bertie. The Ilmouth Museum is renowned for its collection of napped flints.
Well, that's the trouble, you see. Only last week the doctor said I wasn't even to look at another napped flint. Sad, I know, but...
Don't talk drivel, Bertie. And stand up straight.
My word, Aileen. What a splendid collection of arrowheads.
A collection of flint arrowheads found by Mr. George Foster in his garden in Little Ilmouth, presented to the Ilmouth Museum by his widow, Mrs. Maud Foster, on the occasion of their wedding anniversary, October 1922. What a romantic story, Mr. Wooster.
Yes!
Jeeves, you're back. Thank heavens. I thought I was going to be left on my own forever. Just me, Aileen Hemingway, and a napped flint. Ugh.
I caught the 2:30 train, sir.
Brandy and soda, Jeeves.
Very good, sir. Did you have a pleasant afternoon, sir?
You have a cruel streak, Jeeves. I hadn't realised it before. What blighter was it that invented the bicycle?
The first truly rideable machine was made by Mr. Kirkpatrick Macmillan of Dumfriesshire in Scotland in 1839, I believe, sir.
Yeah. Too late to do anything about it now, I suppose.
I fear so, sir. Mr. Biffin called you up on the telephone while you were out, sir?
Biffy? Good heavens, what does he want?
He did not confide in me, sir, except to say that he is staying in Westcombe at the Hotel Riviera and would call on you later.
Well. Oh, Biffy. I thought he was safely stowed away in Herefordshire, wearing gaiters and prodding pigs. Still, make a welcome break from the Hemingways.
As to that, sir, it occurred to me that a day at the racecourse tomorrow might provide a pleasant interlude. It might also serve as a means of evading the Reverend Hemingway and his sister.
Jeeves, the nostrils positively quiver. Like an old warhorse scenting battle. Can you make the arrangements?
I've taken the liberty, sir, of ordering a hamper and hiring a car.
Well, this is the life, eh, Jeeves?
Most agreeable, Sam.
Now, you wouldn't get this in on Teeb, Jeeves. Oh, by the by, I didn't ask you how you got on with your niece yesterday.
Not well, I fear, sir. The young suitor with whom she had become embroiled seems to be not so much inappropriate as missing. He has jilted her, sir.
These young chaps, Jeeves.
Very true, sir.
Anyway, what about Blue Bottle for the next?
I think not, sir. The animal was standing at 6s at last night's call-over and has since lengthened to 15-2. So it seems likely that something untoward is known.
Banana fritter?
A much more attractive proposition, sir. A very lively creature, I'm told, and although somewhat light-boned, not lacking in stamina.
Right. I'll five her on the nose on banana fritter then, Jeeves.
There you go, 20 quid.
Well, they'll never find me here, Jeeves.
I trust not, sir.
No, Jeeves, after yesterday's splendid day at the races, I feel lucky.
Are you, quite comfortable, sir?
Do you know, Jeeves, I jolly well am, yes. This might catch on.
In that case, I shall return to the hotel, sir, and continue with our ironing.
Oh, did we ever hear from Biffy again, Jeeves?
Mr. Biffin? No, sir.
Probably forgotten all about it. Biffy's got the worst memory you've ever come across, Jeeves. Compared with Biffy, I come out as one of the 10 great minds of modern times. Now look,
Oh, Mr. Wooster.
good heavens. Miss Hemingway. I was just looking for you.
Oh, Mr. Wooster. I don't know how to begin.
Something up?
The fact is, Mr. Wooster, a most deplorable thing has occurred. Yesterday, I went to the races.
Oh, what an extraordinary thing. So did I. Did you click?
If you mean was I successful, I must answer in the negative.
Oh, Sidney.
I lost my little all, Mr. Wooster. At the racecourse, I encountered one of my parishioners, a Colonel Musgrave, who happened to be holidaying there. I induced him to cash me a cheque for £100.
Well, a bit of luck that. Finding someone to slip it into, first crack out of the box.
I burn with shame at the confession, but I immediately placed the £100 on Little Demon in the last race.
Little Demon?
Little demon.
I say, you did have a day out.
The most lamentable feature of the whole matter is that I have no funds in the bank.
Oh, my dear chap, well, say no more. If you'll just dig me out of here.
Oh, yes.
Careful.
Mr. Wooster, we can't let you lend us all this money without any security.
Oh,
No, I insist. You don't know us. We might be the most dreadful confidence tricksters.
no, really.
No, I insist. My pearls. I don't know what they're worth. They were a present from my poor father.
Now, alas, no more.
But I know they must be worth ever so much more than the amount we want.
Oh, no, Dashy, look, there's no need for security or any of that sort of rot. No, we're only too happy.
Mr. Wooster, we appreciate your beautiful, heartening confidence in us, but we cannot permit this.
There. If you could just give me a receipt, as a matter of form.
Receipt, yes, of course.
Shall I?
Oh, right, yes.
Hemingway with 2 M's.
Biffy? Biffy?
believe me, Bertie, I'm lost.
What do you mean, lost?
I came out for a walk and suddenly discovered I didn't know where on earth I was. I've been wandering around in circles for hours.
Well, why didn't you ask the way back to your hotel?
I was going to, and I realised I'd forgotten its name. I'd recognise it if I saw it. It's got big doors and a sort of roof. Oh, I'd give a shilling to know the name of that hotel.
Well, you can owe it to me. It's the Hotel Riviera.
This is uncanny, Bertie. Do you have second sight?
No, it's the address you left with Jeeves the other day. What on earth are you doing in Westcombe-on-Sea?
Bertie, old man, I came here to try and forget.
You seem to have managed that all right.
Anyway, I was going to tell you, Bertie. Last year, on the line of going to New York, I met a girl.
Well, that was dashed interesting, Biffy. Do you know who I saw at the drones the other day?
She was wonderful. We used to walk on the boat deck after dinner. She was on the stage. She'd saved up a few pounds and was on her way to New York to see if she'd get a job. Her father ran a milk walk in Clapham. Or it may have been Cricklewood. At least it was either a milk walk or a boot shop.
Yes, well, easily confused.
But what I'm trying to make you understand is she came of good, sturdy, middle-class stock. The sort of wife any man would have been proud of.
Well, whose wife was she?
Nobody's. That's the whole point of the story. I wanted her to be mine. And I lost her.
What do you mean you had a quarrel?
No, I mean I literally lost her.
Well, there you are, Biffy.
That's it! That's it! That's my hotel! Come on in, Bertie. I want to tell you the whole story.
Well, actually,
I shall wear my pearls, Thompson.
Yes, madam.
Pardon me, madam. Have you moved them?
They've gone. My pearls have gone. Someone has stolen my pearls. I hold you responsible, Mr. Bellwether. You are responsible for employing your staff. You are responsible for their honesty, or lack of it.
We can handle this discreetly, Mrs. Gregson. The staff will be searched. There's no reason to call the police.
The police have already been called. Something has to be done. Oh, do be quiet, gal.
Telephone for Mrs. Chumley Bassett.
The last I ever saw of her was in the customs sheds in New York. We were behind a pile of trunks, and I just asked her to be my wife, and she just said she would. When a most offensive blighter in a peaked cap came up to talk about some cigarettes he'd found in the bottom of my trunk. It was getting pretty late by then, so I told Mabel to go on to her hotel, and I'd come round next day and take her to lunch. And I haven't set eyes on her since.
You mean she wasn't at the hotel?
But probably she was, I don't know.
You don't mean you never turned up?
Well, to put it in a word, by the time I'd done half an hour's heavy explaining about the cigarettes, I'd forgotten the name of the hotel.
Well, that's all right. You could make inquiries.
No, I couldn't make inquiries. Fact is, I'd forgotten her name.
Oh, no. Dash it, how could you forget her name? Besides, you told it to me a moment ago. Muriel or something.
Mabel? It's her surname I'd forgotten.
No, but half a second. You must have told her your name. She could trace you.
Exactly. She knows my name and where I live and everything. But I haven't heard a word from her. I suppose when I didn't turn up at the hotel, she thought I'd changed my mind and just dumped her.
Superintendent, I am a taxpayer. I request the police to investigate a simple crime, and what response do I get? None! It so happens that my late husband was a good friend of your chief constable. Now will you do your duty and arrest that girl?
Extraordinary ruckus going on out there, Jeeves.
Indeed, sir. Mrs. Gregson has lost her pearls.
Really? Pearls, eh? That's a bit of a coincidence.
Sir?
Well, the Reverend and his sister leaving her pearls with me.
Good news, Mr. Wooster.
Wonderful news.
I'm able to repay the money you so generously lent me.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
We're so relieved. If you could just let us have my pearls back now.
For which we hold a receipt.
Of course. Jeeves, the pearls. So, had a bit of luck, eh? Not on the GGs, I hope. There you are.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wooster. It doesn't seem to...
Jeeves, the pearls have gone.
Good heavens, sir.
Whatever can have happened to them?
Whatever could have happened to them, Jeeves?
Echo answers whatever, sir.
This is a most serious development, Mr. Wooster.
Well, yes.
A poor parson is scarcely in a position to bear such a loss.
No, I see that.
The pearls were valued at some £3,000, Mr. Wooster.
Ghastly coincidence, Jeeves. Aunt Agatha and I both losing pearl necklaces.
Not entirely a coincidence, sir. I first suspected that something was amiss when I saw the Reverend Hemingway selling tips at the racecourse yesterday.
Selling tips? Oh, what rot. Men of the cloth don't sell tips, Jeeves. You're allowing that imagination of yours to go overboard again. What am I going to do?
Write out a cheque for £3,000, sir. Meanwhile, if you can undertake to engage them in conversation for as long as possible, I think I may be able to effect a solution.
Ah, Mr. Wooster, I trust you have searched the inmost recesses of your heart.
Yes, I bally well have. And the inmost recesses of my bank account.
I'm sure you will find your reward in heaven.
No chance of anything a bit earlier, I suppose.
Sergeant, a moment of your time. There are two persons in his room. You may find them interesting.
Oh, Mr. Wooster, I feel so guilty.
You have shown an humble and contrite heart, Mr. Wooster.
Oh, it's what we Woosters are known for. Oh, don't go.
Oh, we must, Mr. Wooster.
Are you sure you won't have a snifter?
I have to get back to my flock by tomorrow.
What, shearing time, is it?
It's amusing, Mr. Wooster.
Jeeves, I was just saying that the Hemingways ought to stay for a drink.
We really have to go.
You're forgetting your jewel case, Miss Hemingway.
It's only an empty box.
Nevertheless, miss.
Now we really must go.
Ah, Mr. Hemingway, I believe.
If I might suggest a course of action, Sergeant, I think you may find it worth your while to examine the contents of that jewel case.
Liz, it's empty.
Just an empty box.
We'll just take a look then.
Right, allow me in. What's going on?
Jeeves! It's the pearls!
All right, Soapy. The game's up.
Oh, God.
I told you he couldn't be as gormless as he looked.
You'll be charged with fraud, obtaining money by deception, and the theft of a pearl necklace, the property of Mrs. Agatha Gregson.
What do you mean? These are Aunt Agatha's?
I took the liberty of abstracting them from Miss Hemingway's luggage, sir.
Yeah, that's illegal, that is.
Come along, you two.
I'll have the law on you, leading a girl on like that.
Come along.
Don't worry about this one, you said. It'll be
No need
easy,
for that
this
now.
one. You said, thank you, I can walk quite well on my own. You never listen to
quietly
me.
now.
I said,
Let me get this straight, Jeeves. They'd stolen Aunt Agatha's pearls and then stolen them again from me.
Indeed, sir. The Reverend Hemingway is a well-known confidence trickster known as Soapy Sid. He and his wife work their way along the south coast every year.
Wife? What wife?
The lady calling herself Aileen, sir.
Ah, well, I think you may be wrong there, Jeeves. Aileen Hemingway was keen to marry me, remember?
Mrs. Hemingway was the woman responsible for removing the pearls from their case while you were writing a receipt for her, sir.
Good Lord. Good Lord. I mean to say, good Lord, Jeeves. Well, I shall enjoy this.
Mrs. Gregson,
All I am asking you to do is arrest that girl.
there is no evidence to
Evidence. Search her room.
What, oh, Auntie?
We have already searched her room. There is nothing
And
that...
stand up straight. Is that the way they teach you to stand in the police force nowadays?
Is there anything I can do, Aunt Agatha?
Yes, there is. You can leave. I have enough to bear without your imbecilities. Your chief constable shall hear of this. What is your name?
I think there's something the matter with that girl, Auntie. Is she crying or something?
Remorse. She stole my pearls. Do you refuse to give me your name?
Pearls? Well, that's a coincidence. These are the little chaps, are they?
Oh, no, of course not. No. Where did...
I got them from your friends, the Hemingways.
The Hemingways? The Hemingways? Well, how did they come into the possession of the Hemingways?
Because they jolly well stole them, that's how. That's what they do for a living. They are jewel thieves.
No.
Yes, Aged A. I mean, I don't want to rub it in, but you do realize that if you had succeeded in getting me to marry that girl, then I should most probably have had children who'd have sneaked my watch while I was dandling them on my knee.
Bertie,
Now,
dear,
I'm not a complaining sort of chap, as a rule, but I must say that in future, you might be just a little bit more careful how you go about egging me on to marry females.
Sir? The engagement is announced between Charles Edward, only son of Mr. E.C. Biffin and Mrs. Biffin of 11 Penslow Square, Mayfair.
It's Biffy!
And Honoria Jane Louise, only daughter of Sir Roderick and Lady Glossop of 6B Harley Street, W1.
Honoria!
Indeed it is, sir.
Well, what on earth is Biffy doing getting engaged to Honoria Glossop?
I could not say, sir.
I mean, there probably are fellows in this world who could get engaged to this Glossop menace and like it. Tough, hardy chaps with strong chins and glittering eyes, but Biffy is not one of them.
Assuredly not, sir. Will that be all, sir?
Yes, righto, Jeeves. So, Biffy, congratulations in order, I hear.
Thanks. Bertie?
Still here, old fruit?
Oh, nothing. But is it really true you were once engaged to Honoria?
It is.
How on earth did you manage to get out? I mean, what was the nature of the tragedy that prevented your marriage?
Biffy, old egg, as man to man, do you want to boil out of this thing?
Bertie, old cork, as one friend to another, I do.
How the dickens did you get into it?
It just sort of happened. You know how it is when your heart's broken. You get absent-minded and cease to exercise proper precautions.
Yes, I know.
What I want you to tell me is, what's the procedure?
You mean for sort of edging out?
Exactly. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, Bertie.
Yeah, no, of course not.
But, what do you recommend?
Well, you see, in my case, Sir Roderick discovered that there was a modicum of insanity in my family, so the old boy came round to dinner to give me the once-over. And Jeeves arranged things so that he went away firmly convinced that I was completely off my caduva.
I see. Trouble is, there isn't any insanity in my family.
Really?
just my luck. And I've got the whole Glossop clan coming to lunch with me tomorrow. Probably want to test me the same way they did you.
What, the whole tribe of them? Honoria, too?
The whole boiling of them.
Look, Biffy, I tell you what, I'll roll up to that lunch. If he finds out that you're a pal of mine, he might well forbid the banns right away.
Something in that. Awfully sporting of you, Bertie.
Well, when it comes to helping a chum, we Woosters have no thought of self. Meanwhile, I'll consult Jeeves. He's never failed me yet.
Anytime you hear the thunder rumble down, don't let hope tumble down or castles crumble down. If the blues appear, just make the best of them. Just make a jest of them. Don't be possessed of them. At the risk of sounding rather platitudinous, here's what I believe should be the attitude in us. A sunny disposition will always see you through. When up above the skies are black instead of being blue. Mr. Trouble always makes our faces long, but a smile will have him saying so long.
Do you know what I look for in a song, Jeeves?
Not precisely, sir, no. I have often speculated.
A spot of philosophy, Jeeves. Something to make you think. Just you listen to this.
It really doesn't pay to be a gloomy pill. It's absolutely most ridiculous, positively sill. The rain may pitter-patter, it really doesn't matter. For life can be delish with a sunny disposition.
Most heartwarming, sir.
Mind you, there are times when it's dashed difficult not to be a bit gloomy and pill-like.
Very true, sir.
There's my friend Biffy Biffin. I mean, old Biffy is in roughly the same position in Honoria Glossop as I was a month or two back. In short, Jeeves, he needs your help.
I fear that it is hardly my place, Mr. Wooster, to intervene in a private matter affecting...
Oh, come.
No, sir. I would be taking a liberty.
Now, look here, Jeeves. It's not still the south of France you're mooning about, is it?
No, sir. I had put the continent quite from my mind. Will that be all, sir?
Yes, that'll be all, Jeeves. It's Biffy, isn't it? What have you got against old Biffy?
I'm sure Mr. Biffin has many fine qualities, sir.
Oh, very well, then. If you're not going to chip in and save a fellow creature, I suppose I can't make you. You're going to look pretty silly, though, when I get old Biffy out of the soup without your assistance.
I shall try to bear up under the shame of it, sir.
Yes, well. Right, well, I'm getting back into that sitting room now, Jeeves, and I'm going to put in some pretty tense thinking.
Very good, sir. Shall I wake you at 6, sir?
Yes. No, Jeeves. There will be no need. The brain will be racing.
As you say, sir.
Yes, well then. I mean, the Worcester grey matter has been well and truly racked, Tuffy. You've got to come up with something pretty brilliant, otherwise poor old Biffy is definitely for the high jump.
He'll probably forget to turn up at the wedding anyway.
True.
Do you remember the time he forgot his name and had to go and look it up in the club register?
That's right, and nobody would tell him what letter it began with.
I see Bertie.
Barmy, what are you up to?
Nothing. Nothing. I say, Bertie, do you like flowers?
I like nothing better, Barmy. Why do you ask?
Well, would you like to smell my buttonhole, then?
Not particularly, no.
Oh, go on. It's special.
Oh, very well.
But you'll have to stand up.
Yeah.
Right. Would you like to smell my buttonhole, Bertie?
Yes, you've said all that.
Oh, all right. Well, smell it, then. I forgot to fill it up. Hang on a minute.
This is what I love about Barmy's wheezes. Good one, is it?
Terrific.
I think I'll toddle off home.
Oh, no. You simply have to see this. Right. Bertie, would you like to smell my No. Would you like to smell the buttonhole? Yes. Well, smell it, then.
That's very nice, Barmy. Thank you. what's it? Balmy old thing.
Hello?
Biffy, I just want you to know that your troubles are at an end.
Good afternoon. Mr. Bertram Wooster, sir.
What-ho, what-ho, what-ho?
Bertie!
Biffy, do you like flowers?
Eh?
Smell this.
What the devil are you doing? I'm wet.
Calm yourself, Biffy, old egg. This was not a jest to pass an idle hour. This was a demonstration.
You suggesting that I squirt Sir Roderick?
Absolutely. Squirt him as he has never before been squirted. I guarantee you that in something under 3 seconds, the idea will have dawned on him that your presence in the family is not required.
Oh, but I can't. It's them! It's them! Talk to them while I go and change my shirt. This one's all wet.
Sir Roderick and Lady Glossop and Miss Honoria Glossop.
Good afternoon. I trust we're
It's
not...
that Bertie Wooster, Daddy.
What ho, Glossop's all?
What are you doing here, Bertie?
Me? I'm just here as a sort of friend of the accused, as it were.
You are a friend of Mr. Biffin.
Oh, Biffy, yes, known each other for years. He asked me to come over and join you mangling a spot of lunch.
Oh.
I said, it's a long time since we met, though, eh?
Nevertheless, I remember you most distinctly, Mr. Wooster. Has there been some sort of accident?
Oh, no, nothing serious. Old Biffy just had some sort of fit or seizure and knocked over the table.
Fit?
Or seizure. Foaming at the mouth and everything.
Bertie!
Sorry, I had to go and change my shirt. I've got all wet, you know.
Are you working, Bertie?
Working?
The last time we met, Mr. Wooster, you told me you were thinking about getting a job.
Oh, yes, well, still thinking. Still thinking away.
Ah.
Like flowers, do you, Sir Roderick?
Flowers?
You know, like Biffy's got in his buttonhole. Let Sir Roderick have a sniff, Biffy.
I don't want to.
Daddy's thinking about buying Charles's place in Herefordshire.
If Mr. Biffin will agree to sell.
Oh, I should think he would. You got that place from your uncle, didn't you, Biffy?
Yes?
Yes, a lot of unhappy memories for old Biffy, that place.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, it was Biffy's old Uncle Harold who used to read Shakespeare to his rabbits.
I see.
Yes, not that I got anything against Shakespeare myself. No, I'm never happier than when curled up with the collected works of the old chap.
Oh, are you a theatre lover, Mr. Wooster?
Oh, rather.
One of my most treasured memories is of Irving playing Hamlet at the Lyceum.
Really? Who won?
Why don't we all go to the theatre tomorrow night?
Oh, yes. I thirst for culture, Mr. Biffin.
Oh, ditto, yeah. Anyway, to return to Sir Roderick and flowers, Biffy.
Eh?
Flowers, Sir Roderick. He likes them.
Whatever is the matter, Mr. Wooster?
Let Sir Roderick sniff your buttonhole, Biffy. Go on, Biffy, do it.
I can't, Bertie, I can't.
You can. Be brave. Do it.
What are you doing?
It's gone mad.
Bertie? Bertie, you are an old It's jolly heartbreaking for you, Bertie, I know, and I'm bally well touched, but my parents would never hear of it.
Hear of what, Honoria?
It'd be better if you got a job, even.
My dear old Honoria, I'm quite in a fog.
Oh, come on, Bertie. Trying to make Biffy look even more of an idiot than nature intended just shows you'll be in with a chance again.
No, 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 no!
They make a nice display, don't they, sir?
Don't talk to me about flowers, Jeeves. I now know how a general feels when he plans some great strategic movement and his troops let him down at the 11th hour. Biffy would not squirt the squirter, Jeeves.
A somewhat vacillating young gentleman, Mr. Biffin, sir.
And the worst of it is that I've got stuck with going to the theatre with them tomorrow. And Honoria seems to think that I'm aching to marry her again.
Indeed, sir.
Dash it, Jeeves, you are positively heartless.
I'm sorry to hear of Miss Glossop's misapprehension, sir. But as to Mr. Biffin, surely Mr. Biffin has only himself to blame if he has entered upon matrimonial obligations which do not please him, sir.
Oh, you're talking absolute rot, Jeeves. You know as well as I do that Honoria Glossop is an act of God. You may as well blame a fellow for getting run over by a truck. Besides, he was in no position to resist. He'd lost the only girl he ever loved.
How was this, sir?
Well, apparently he fell in love with a girl he met on the boat going over to New York. They'd parted at the customs shed, arranging to meet the next day at her hotel. But you know what Biffy's like. The next day, the only thing he could remember was that her name was Mabel. Clean forgotten her hotel, everything. Well, I mean to say, you can't go scouring New York looking for a girl called Mabel.
I appreciate the difficulty, sir. I did not know of this before.
I don't suppose anyone knows of it except me.
Did I hear you mention that Mr. Biffin was arranging a theatre party for Sir Roderick and Lady Glossop, sir?
And Honoria.
If I might suggest, sir, the new entertainment at the Palace is reputed to be well worth a visit.
Well, yes, we'll never get tickets for that. It's an absolute riot, I've heard. What's the thing called?
Woof, woof, sir. If you were to leave it to me, sir, I may have some small influence which would enable me to acquire the necessary tickets.
But he's traveling incognito because he smuggled his St. Bernards through the customs, and they're on his train.
How romantic. I'd do anything for a man with a St. Bernard.
It's excited, makes you sing. Woof, woof. It's for darling, that the starling on the wing. It's the call of nature to love us every day. It'll make you rate your movie hero down to zero. Woof, woof. It comes sounding through the pounding of your heart. Woof, woof. Doting mothers can't keep lovers far apart.
Hey, you girls. Here comes Lady Ermintrude.
Has she got anyone with her?
Anyone with a St. Bernard? I didn't see any St. Bernard, but she's got a man with her.
Oh, no!
Yes, and he'd certainly make me go woof, woof. Oh, girls,
It's her!
he's absolutely gorgeous.
Chaps and lasers just amaze us with their spark. Woof, woof, they would fly to
Mabel!
Cleopatra with
Mabel!
Mark.
It's me! Biffy!
Fallen in love and was treated to something.
My leg. Right across the orchestra pit.
That all sounds highly satisfactory, sir.
Did you know Mabel was in the show, Jeeves?
Oh, yes, sir. I happen to be acquainted with the future Mrs. Biffin.
Ah, so you know all about that business in New York?
Yes, indeed, sir. It was for that reason that I was not altogether favourably disposed towards Mr. Biffin. I mistakenly supposed that he had been trifling with the young girl's affections. But when you told me the true facts of the case, I endeavoured to make amends.
Well, he certainly owes you a lot, Jeeves. But how did you come to know the girl in the first place?
She is my niece, sir.
Good heavens, Jeeves.
Yes, indeed, sir.
Is that the doorbell, Jeeves?
It certainly gave that impression, sir.
Who could that be at this time of night?
I shall endeavour to ascertain, sir.
I wish to see Mr. Wooster, Jeeves.
I regret to say that Mr. Wooster is asleep, Mrs. Gregson.
Oh, how very thoughtless of him. What is the matter with young people nowadays, Jeeves?
I can't say, madam.
I have heard that another of Mr. Wooster's friends has disgraced himself at the theatre this evening.
Most unfortunate, Mrs. Gregson.
However, this does mean that the young Glossop girl is once again on the market. Would you kindly tell Mr. Wooster that I am willing to overlook his conduct at Westmont in order to help him bring matters with Miss Glossop to a satisfactory conclusion?
I'm sure that Mr. Wooster will be most grateful, madam.
And so he ought to be. I shall call again first thing.
I shall tell Mr. Wooster, madam. That was Mrs. Gregson's,
I heard, Jeeves, hence the pack.
Are we embarking on a journey, sir?
We desperate are, Jeeves. The night train for Antibes leaves in an hour. We are going to be on it. If Aunt Agatha thinks I'm going to wait around while she and Honoria Glossop lead me, trusts stuffed and garnished with bacon, to the altar, Jeeves, well, she's got several other things coming.
Very good, sir. If you will allow me to complete the packing, sir.